Diamo il benvenuto ai raccattapalle ai giudici di linea del team Roma. Accogliamo con un applauso Marta Kostyuk.
Well, this is a little bit of a treat for the grandstand court, because unfortunately, due to the withdrawal because of injury of Vika Azarenka, Madison Keys gets a walkover, and we get to see Marta Kostyuk take on Paula Badosa for the third time in her career. She's looking for a first win over the Spaniard, who has been in wonderful form in the clay court swing, getting back, I think, to her very best kind of form. 9 wins and just 3 defeats on the Terre Battue so far, and she is building very nicely towards the French Open. The other thing to consider in this particular matchup is that win for Kostyuk in round 2, over Claire Liu of the United States was her first on clay this year, so that's another little factor to add to the mix. It's a compelling one, and we're very much looking forward to it under blue skies in the Italian capital. I'm Sue Thurl, the perfect co-commentator for this match, as indeed all matches. Olga Savchuk alongside me, but Olga, you know Marta so well, so you can give us great insight into her game style and what she'll be thinking today.
Yeah, definitely. Today is, they've been great friends for many years, and they know each other games a lot because they train a lot, I know, and they used to train a lot together, and they played amazing match at the Australian Open a year ago in the third round, where Paula Badosa escaped and took that win over, but it was a real battle. And they kind of have a similarity in their game.
General condition, TV changeover. We have a net machine in operation. The set clocks are close to the baseline on one side and the other one there. Tower box is at the back. You can take number 1 and you take number 2. I will be inspecting the mark, so if you have any questions about the mark, you stop immediately. I come and check. Okay? Questions? Okay. Tails, heads. Tails for her. And heads. You go. Serve. Good match.
Well, the weather is such a contrast to this time yesterday when it was absolutely pouring down. It is like night and day comparatively today. Beautiful conditions, not too much wind either by the looks of it as well. And it is Badosa against Kostyuk, who is the number 32 seed here in Rome. And that win, also worth pointing out, over Claire Liu, was her first in terms of main draw wins in Rome. Don't look at those clouds, it's absolutely fine. It's not going to rain today, I promise. Karolina Muchova, really excellent performance from her to get past Camilla Giorgi, who is so unpredictable. What an amazing ball striker she is, but couldn't find the magic today. As so often happens, a really tight first set can be definitive, and it certainly looked like it was today against Muchova, so she moves through to face the winner of this one. And we were talking, Olga, weren't we, in the build-up to this match, and saying how impressed we've been with Paula Badosa of late. Quarter-final runs in Charleston and in Stuttgart, round of 16 in Madrid, where she lost to Maria Sakkari, having completely dismantled Coco Gauff. And when you look at her results here, we did her match, didn't we, in round 1 against Annalena Friedson, where she had to save, she had to serve twice to stay in it. And we were both impressed. A very late night match, which finished at 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday, I think. With her mentality, because she got through that test.
Yeah, because it's a few times during that match we saw that that's it. Friedson has that match, right? Has that win, and Paula Badosa managed, even though she pulled her leg a bit and we could see her limping, she still managed to overcome. And it was quite impressive, and also it gave her, I think, much more confidence for the next match against Ons Jabeur. And she just overtake Ons Jabeur, from swipe her off the court.
She did. I mean, she was 5-love up in the opening set. Jabeur managed to avoid the bagel, and they did trade blows in terms of breaks of serve in the second set, but Badosa got it done 6-4 and moved on there. So she really built on that tough opening test. That is so often the case, isn't it? You see that happen. For Marta Kostyuk, well, her performance over Liu, as I say, was her first win on clay. She's had this season. She's had a wonderful year so far. A first career title achieved in Austin at the expense of Varvara Gracheva in the final. Excellent win along the way against Danielle Collins as well. But for me, Olga, I think seeing her reach the quarterfinals at the start of the year in Adelaide, she beat Elena Rybakina, and that is the kind of match that in past years she would have lost narrowly, and she lost the first set narrowly in the tiebreak, but she found her way back in two. And I remember saying at the time to people, do you know what, I think she's going to have a really good year. And that can set you off, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she went on the tour so early, right there from that performance in Australian Open where she was so young, and then she kind of disappeared for a few years and had to go back on a smaller tournaments and find back her game. And I just feel everything kind of got in balance this year for her. She's more mature on the court, she's more mature in behaving, and yeah, just her tennis is improving, and it's still a lot of space to grow.
Vittorio Russo in charge of proceedings today. Out of that canapé in the umpire's chair today, because it's really warm conditions. There's a little bit of cloud around, but nothing to worry about. Nice day,
It's
nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, not too much wind either, so that won't bother the players either. They'll feel the heat of the sun on the court.
Signore e signori, Paula
One of those
Badosa vince il
matches we're both
sorteggio
really
di
looking forward to seeing this, aren't we?
Yes,
Because
definitely.
I thought that Badosa was so impressive against Jabeur the other day. She really was. Kostyuk, having raced to the bagel in just, 30 minutes against Claire Liu, she was rapidly through that opening set. It got a bit more complicated in the second set. She was love 3 down, but she battled back to win that second set 6-4, and that's what I associate with Marta Kostyuk, even though she, in the early part of her career, has had a lot of narrow defeats against some very good players. She is such a fighter out there, isn't she?
Yeah, she's fast, explosive, very good mover on the court, very good athlete, and works hard every day. And the only thing that she has to keep under control is her emotions. Sometimes she can overreact, and it can affect her performance. But I just have a feeling that she get that all now sorted out.
Is it not here? Okay, I will ask. No. Acqua, temperatura ambiente.
Well, you were telling me that she's working with a sports psychologist now, and that's also really helped.
Yeah, I think it's quite new since maybe middle of the last year. She hired her, and yeah, I think she's traveling a few weeks as well with the psychologist. So I think it's mega helpful.
Did you ever work with a psychologist?
I did in the early ages, but when you're really young.
Prima partita.